All right, here we go. We live, bitches. We up in this thing. I think an error has occurred. Sick. You guys can see it? All right. So if you were on the PPI session, then you're up right now. So it was mentioned, it was comunicado to you that this is what we would be doing. So right now we're chilling at a little under a 1R. I would say we're almost at this mitigation point. You could even say that we have done a nice move, nice rejection. We cleared some liquidity. We have now worked our way down, and also apologize to keep you waiting a few minutes here, but had a nice little rejection, 60-point drop. If you look at the move over here, we're looking at a 72-point push. So I do think we're going to get a little more. Usually, you see how we have this little order block here. Not a surprise that we're kind of slowing down as soon as we hit this. But with the way in which we've reacted prior to New York Open here, this is good. So I am going to move my stop, and I feel like there is no reason to have any more risk on the table. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up there. So if you were on that session, then felicidades. Here we go. So going break even. Actually, one tick below to cover the commission for opening the trade. But yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. I like where we're at. I'm really curious. This is looking kind of strange on my copy trader, so let me double check what this looks like on this account. Did I get copied over or not? Let's see here. I didn't. Why not? Huh. What the fuck? That's so strange. I don't understand why I didn't get copied over here. Man. This is tragic. This actually does really suck. Fuck. Well, it is what it is. You guys get to see it. Real time. The struggles of Mike Nav. First world problems. What's your TP? What's that? Never heard of her. Why didn't this play out, though? Why didn't this copy over? They don't want to see you win. Huh? What's up? Okay. Sniper entry. Bomber Mike didn't get the copy trade going. Yeah, whatever. I think just, I'm under the belief that the more challenges you experience, the better you become. So, it's just opening up pathways for me to continue to evolve as a market wizard. So it's Gucci. TP. What's take? No, I was joking, Javante. I know what TP is. Yeah, I'm familiar with the term. Can you drop a announcement in the Tradetopia community that we're live? Here for round 2, kind of. US 30 limit got activated for me. Awesome. Yeah, I got activated for me, kind of. So at least Top Step is good, and then one account got some love. The other did not. Did you take the entry in gold? No, I didn't. I'm really doing as much as I can right now without feeling totally overwhelmed while streaming here with you guys all at the same time. How is gold looking? Did gold give the reversal? ¿Por qué en YouTube suena más bajito que en Zoom? Bro, I don't fucking know. No tengo ni idea, bro. Yo solo sé gráficas, no sé ya las condiciones de YouTube y el volumen, pues, bro, quién sabe. Ni idea. Both limits, active gold and US 30. Nice. Yeah, let me see if this will load for me. I know I'm running a lot here at the same time, so I don't think I'm pushing this thing as much as I can, I guess. Mike on today. I woke up spicy. Picante. All right, we're getting a little bit of reaction on USDJPY. That's nice. Bro, I don't even know how to drink coffee, guys. You think I know how the volume, how to distinguish the volume settings and why the intricacies of this Shure M7 mic? I have no idea. Nancy has to help me, like, dress myself. I barely stand a chance, guys. I've put all my energy in this and nothing else. So now, you know, I'm surprised I can even communicate relatively effectively. With gold, yeah, gold is shorting nicely. Pretty good short. Look at that. The reason I didn't end up shorting gold also was because I was already in a yen setup, so I felt like doubling down on dollar pairs, even though metals is not technically a USD pair, but they're I mean basically correlated. So I felt good with just, you know, trading this one. Not a big deal. Yeah, I'm a full-blown tard except in the markets, 100%. That's the best way to put it. Might need those little fueguitos that come on menus. Yeah, if I don't see the little fire emojis on the menu, I don't know if it's spicy or not. Yeah, I only know so much. So, cool. Seeing some movement. Would have loved to have this. I have confirmed. I am, in fact, only running this trade here. Okay, so anyways, all my comedy, my stand-up hours are now over. But let's go look at what's good with these markets here. Let me go ahead and... So if you look at just YM, so just Dow, you're going to be noticing that you're not going to see this kind of wick down that you see with MYM. So the micro and the mini charts are looking a little different. So take a look at this here. Sir. Here we go. Current contracts. And then here. Okay. Now with this position, we have New York open here in 15 minutes. So what you guys will see here is going to be something like this. This is where I think we could go. If things are going to look good, we could at least push down below and clear the PPI open and clear some of this liquidity. The most conservative approach would be where structure and imbalance meet. So I like this exit. Like I just see market bounce out of like things like this. So this could give you a nice little 2.5 hour action. Considering, and I'll take a look at NQ here in a second. Otherwise, we can rebalance all of PPI and then continue the trend to the downside. Outside of this, also, if you did accidentally over leverage on the yen setup, then you are in profit. So you do have a chance at, getting yourself right and choosing to exit or not for peace of mind purposes. So here is Dow. So we have both running trades, and gold is in profit. Gold is actually about 100 pips in profit now. So this is good. Nice. Gold is actually really, really playing off nice, about 111. So if you did miss the PPI session, I have zero sympathy for you. I told you what was going to happen. Yesterday, CPI went fantastic. And so, you know, you faded yourself because you definitely didn't fade me. Now, taking a look at NQ, and we went play by play. I said, guys, we want to see NASDAQ clear the liquidity above here and then make its move to the downside. So now we have that, right? We're seeing NASDAQ push along. We saw NASDAQ did, in fact, make this giant move to the downside before it rallied. So with this, here's the 1 minute. We see it spike down, create more liquidity, and then push. But even with this, if we see NASDAQ, because NASDAQ has only moved sideways while Dow has gone, has made a decent move to the downside. So I would want to see NQ start to rebalance some of this coming into this PPI open and kind of trade over to here. So this is where we can start to take a better look at what's going on with indices if we want to exit there. And that's assuming, of course, the market even gets to where we would want it to be, because there is no guarantees that that does continue to happen. So as of right now, we're seeing some good sideways movement. Dow cleared the highs, came back down to where we had some previous resistance. So, of course, this can function as support. Maybe we come up again a little bit here. Now, the thing is, and let's zoom out a little bit more. Now we have to think, is there a re-entry opportunity? Those are some magical words for some people. Oh, my God, there's another entry. Yes. My chance of making money is going higher. Hell yeah. And the question, and to go with that, I don't really usually like trade something like this. Like, we already saw the closing of the buy orders with this push down. So we see the mitigation here. And so when we zoom in and we're looking at what the market's doing over here, this clears liquidity. So sellers get swept out, buy stops get triggered, market comes back down. Okay. So are we getting typical break and retest behavior? This is definitely luring in buyers. Typically, what I would want to see is something like with like what we have going on with NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, for example, let me zoom out a little bit. NASDAQ here takes out the liquidity. So you see NQ push higher, gets above these highs. So it gets above London session highs, gets above Asian session highs, plays into, actually Asian session highs were up here, but clears above the liquidity overall. Here we have the sweep of the high. We work our way back down. We're kind of moving sideways. With New York open, it can either clear the highs again and then drop, or we might just see the continuation to the downside. So I'm not really seeing opportunities that I would want to take. I'm already in the trade. Things are happening. I'm cool with it. We have 2 trades going on right now, that maybe 3, depending on how savage you are and how you can manage your trades and things and execute. But I am only in 2. But we had 3 setups, all of which are at the moment running in profit. What I do want to go over is USD, JPY, and or yen futures. So you're either in USD JPY buys or you are in yen futures shorts with these shorts, and it's summer. So, you know, shorts are in season. So what we got here is now what we want to double check is the following. So when we went over to trading this position, we had this, right? So there was a reason, there was a motive. We saw a nice pump up here. Right, so we saw this go up about 13 bars. Or my bad. We saw this go up here. So like, what is that? 60 ticks or something? And then now on the drop, so if we see this into the present, we want to see it drop in a similar fashion minimum before either tightening up stop or reducing risk. I think we have more to go still. So I kind of want to see this just continue to push down before making any sort of adjustments and tightening on my stop or anything. So yeah, that's kind of what I have here in mind. Just going to want to see it push down a bit further and go from there. Okay. So as I said, we have New York open in 7 minutes. We can see an influx of more volatility, more volume. Looking at Dow and NQ, I won't be surprised if we see Dow pump up one more time, kind of entice buyers into following, and then just come back to fill these imbalances. I wouldn't I don't have a motive. Like I don't have the confirmation to get into the market again with this. But in terms of trade management or my just managing my expectations overall, that's what I could foresee happening. If you're not in any trades right now, then that's okay. Like you just wait until the market shows you what you need. So you need, like, whether it's in the environment of volatility, in the environment of you need to be aware, okay, are these times where I tend to focus on what I want, how and or feeling a certain type of way. So right now, my message to you is become aware of what your state of mind is, what your feelings and emotions are. Are you leaning in towards wanting either a feeling to go away or a feeling to appear as a trader? So, for example, right now, let's say you're in 2 trades. Like, best case scenario, you're in maybe 2 or 3 trades and they're all in profit. Okay, cool. So you may feel great. You may feel like, oh, I'm a fucking savage. Oh, I am a trading god. And I'm happy for you. But don't let that turn into why you make further decisions that don't go your way. Or you're on the other side. You're in no trades. It doesn't mean you need to be in a trade now then. Like, none of those things are necessary. There is no expiration date on when you should be or shouldn't be profiting. Just trade. That's it. That's literally it. So right now, as I'm looking at this, we're starting to see Dow actually pick up a bit more momentum to the upside first. So a little bit of bullish price action before we're seeing the open, while NQ is kind of chilling. So I'm curious if we see NQ sweep and that actually ends up pushing Dow even closer to this area. So here is where you may, depending on how we see price unfold, you may have to make a new decision. Do you want to give your trade maybe a little bit of breathing room just in case it just wakes up way up here before it drops again? Or you just stick to your guns. You think, you know what? No, I'm cool. Like, I like it where it's at. Not a big deal. I'd rather just kind of play it out. Either or is more than fine. Just you have to make peace with your decision. That's the most important thing. So even today, people went fantastic. You were warned not to. I did tell you guys not to miss this shit. I told you in the community. I told you on the streams. So if you, what about the sippy cup? You know what? We still got to place the order on the sippy cup so that I can, I won't spill all over myself. But actually, we did find out they were manufacturing errors yesterday. The cup wasn't doing what cups are supposed to do. Oh, the lid wasn't. The cup, I guess, held the coffee like it was supposed to. Okay. All right. What do we got going on? What up, Gio? Was it good, my G? What do I think about gold? I think we did a good job with gold. I mean, if you took this, you're about 130 pips up. You should be, the risk was about 100 and I believe 49. So you're just about at a 1-to-1. If you want to, if you're looking at exit, what's up, Lonzo? Well, don't forget the bib. You got to send one, man. Was working with people, missed stream, rip. Okay, I do have sympathy if you work. Obviously, there's only so much you can do. But if you weren't working, then I have none for you. Okay, if you have kids too, fine. Gotta get the kids on the charts. So at this point, looking at how we've reacted, I think it's you can go break even with this. I would move my stop. I didn't take this position considering I was just already in plenty of them, but definitely would do that. And then exits within this huge sell-off, I think are solid, probably under here. This imbalance would be a target. This liquidity here too, for me, looks like it would be likely, but this is way more probable for you to actually collect something. The most probable would be to exit within this structure, but now you're taking like a 1 hour home, and it's just not really. That's not really too fun. So, and it might not be sustainable long term. So you got to keep those things in mind. I feel like Dow just might wick us out, or actually just keep going higher. So I'm keeping this steady. You guys are gonna either see this go great or not. Worst case, we get nothing out of this. Best case, we can see this continue and we can collect, 3-4R out of this position. So right now I'm going to have my exit set over here, see if we get something. And if not, that's cool. Yeah. What's interesting too is that we did sweep. So here looking at NQ, we swept the highs. Came back in. So this is, I guess, now looking at it, this is pretty much a classic like shakeout type of setup. So we might just see NQ sweep these highs and then melt down, or it just drops. So let's see. There we go. So Dow. All right, cool. Dow pushing down. Great. Let's see if it wants to keep going down. That's the most important part. There goes NQ. Okay. NQ blasted higher first, which is fine. Can we get Dow to sustain this and then make the drop? Buenos días. ¿Qué tal, Rey? How you doing, bro? You been going on any trails, waterfalls lately? Any excursions? Okay. Some nice movement so far. Let's see if we can hold that. Did NQ end up dropping? Yeah. Okay. Kind of. It's fighting it. Let's see. All right, Dow. Come on. Come on, pal. You can do it. We believe in you. There we go. Okay, so we're definitely seeing an introduction of more, movement to the downside. Maybe NQ now is starting to drop. So we chose the right asset for sure. I'm going to give myself the courtesy of taking a bit more here. If it does happen to pull back, I want to collect something out of this in a worst case scenario here. So we already saw a nice move. Let's see if we can kind of continue to have some demand down here. Depending on your entry, you may be sitting at around a 2R right now. Right over here. So for those of you that have a 2R exit strategy, then you should have already hit take profit. And then from here, now we're going into the PPI movement. So filling PPI is going to be important here. Coming back to this area, if you look at YM, it'll give you a better perspective. So this was YM right there. So YM here was PPI, popped up, back down, continuation. This also created liquidity. Considering we took Dow for the short. Hold on, my bad. Where am I? NQ. NQ is battling this out too. So if we do see NQ start to make this bearish move to come into this PPI price action, then that should actually drive Dow even further down. So let's see where we can get with this. I'm actually going to move this down even further. And then remember, when I was talking about where we can see exits, conservative exits, now as well, where we have some structure and where we have imbalance, when they start to meet, these are some key levels to take some profits. TP on Dow to our boss. Thank you. Yeah, I got you guys. Much love, appreciate it. If you're making some gains, if you're making some profits, we love to see you guys post them in the community. If y'all want to send me $1, I also wouldn't be mad about it. Got to pay for the instant ramen cups. But cool. He's like, dude, why would I send you $1? I literally see you're up right now. But okay. So if you and also I do want to show this here. You see how we have this huge spike up and down? So the market may struggle to break through here. So if you wanted to take something off here, pay yourself a little bit, feel free. In these key zones where you can see reversals like this, I think paying yourself something isn't a bad thing. So for example, here we can just, and if you want to do it, if you're trading on TradingView, you just literally, if you're in a short, I'll give you the example. You just click buy and then you take some off the table. Just like that. And then from here, let's go take a look at NQ again. NQ is really struggling to break through this. Like it's really struggling to drop and to make its move. So that's interesting to me. Because if it does, any slight movement to the downside that NQ makes, it's going to push Dow even further. And at this point, then you decide, so then should I have my exit so conservative with, or not conservative, this is a great exit. We're looking at well beyond, what is it, like a 4R or something? Oh shit, hold on, I forgot about this account. Sick. Oh no. Oh, I made a massive mistake. I bought yen instead of closing. I was trying to take partials on Dow, and instead I bought 4 orders of yen futures. 5 actually. So, oops. Okay, so that was a mistake. Definitely need to pay more attention to what the fuck I'm doing over here. Okay, problems of managing too many positions. And be very diligent, guys, please. Okay, so at this point, I think it looks like we're kind of battling it out here with NASDAQ. If we can come into this, I would say I'm going to look to take some money off the table on Dow, some more, if we do break below liquidity and we get into this right there. Is that my alert or your alert? Okay. So here we go. All right. We're starting to see Dow push further down. On minis, right, we see liquidity here. So I want to see the market sweep this liquidity. And then looking at NQ. NQ is kind of struggling to break below. Just did some imbalance here. So honestly, and right now we're playing into PPI open. like right where it opened. So at this point, I feel like I could probably let Dow run some more. But I don't know if this is looking to kind of reaccumulate or something. So I think just taking high probability exits are not a bad idea with this. But to zoom out a little bit with Dow, here's what the market's looking like. Bear structure is continuing. We're seeing the market play into this structure, into this imbalance. Yes, it has a little bit of liquidity that it could target here as well. But as you zoom out and you look at where we're at overall with Dow here is showing that we have come into this zone. It has played into the imbalance here in the past. So we've already played into the NFP imbalance and close to where structure's at. So we can go for that here in the future. So Dow doing its thing here right now. Starting to see a little bit of a reversal. So glad I took a bit off the table when we were down here. In a worst case scenario, we're seeing NQ here, right, make its move back up to this area after getting back to this like little New York Open level. I have my stops in profit for Dow as well, alongside the what I already took off the table there. So at this point, let's see, what could NQ's targets be? So we cleared the highs again. So the highs that it made when it spiked up prior to New York Open, it's now cleared those highs again. We're seeing, I wonder if NQ is going to target the Asian session highs, which are right here. And then where will that take Dow? So we have Asian session highs here. Gold made its reversal. Came right back into here. I wouldn't necessarily, I think the move that we had was like 200 something. And then the drop did what? This dropped not the same, like 150 pips. I don't think I'd take that again. And then now, let's see, Dow. Ooh. So the live candle perspective. This is something you want to be very careful on. Is when you're seeing a candle form in real time, it can give you, sometimes it won't give you, it'll give you the wrong interpretation. So like this right now isn't done. Just like the hourly candle. So you start to see something like this, and then once it's happening live, you might start to panic, like, oh my God, should I just get out? It looks like it's a wick now. But then by the end of the candle, it might be over here. But what if the hourly candle looks different? So you just want to kind of be careful with how you interpret live candles and what time frame you're at, so that way you just have the most context possible. So right now, NQ clearing highs. I'm curious to see that if we do come down with NASDAQ, how that's going to influence Dow, and if it's going to just make and push for lower lows again. I think it's quite the possibility. And if we do work our way down here, or if we start to get that push, then I might give myself the permission to just let my trade run a bit further down. But that's only if. So I'm just kind of reading it, playing it by ear. And like I mentioned, the exits here were very conservative. Like, not conservative. These are the probable exits. We're playing out into this zone. So that's why, like, I took some off the table as soon as it got to here because it was at a great risk reward. At this point, we were sitting at 3R. So right around 3R. So actually a little short of 3R. So here, 2.5. Took contract off the table. And then we'll see what happens from here. Gold going higher. Great. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm good with all this. Maybe it would drop again. Maybe not. Not my focus at the moment. And then same thing with this yen play. The good thing with this is it's very minimally moving. So, like, for example, gold is already going beyond this while the yen futures isn't. It's still chilling. So I feel decent with this one because this one definitely didn't mitigate quite yet. On the other hand, Dow is doing quite a good job at going up. So we may be giving back some money here. Maybe round tripping quite a bit. Best case, though, we still get to collect, at least from what I'm seeing here, about 35 points on top of the like 150 that was collected over here. So I don't feel terrible about it. It was a pretty minor amount of difference between exiting here and there. So, you know, if I were to evaluate my exit strategy here at the moment, considering this was the open of PPI, did I need to target the liquidity exactly? I guess I didn't have to. Could have just taken, here's where we saw the money go up and down. So could have just played into this specific price action. This would give a just high probable exit instead of having to now endure the painful, absolutely dreadful 7 minutes of seeing some of the market come back up and now having to withstand the possibility of giving it back or not. So, yeah, we'll see. At the end of the day, we're still riding this one out. And you guys get to see it happen real time. All right, what's good? Let me check the chat. How are you all managing this one? Did you take profit fully? Got out at 1 to 2, 1 to 3 secured. Log it in your journal. Random question, but what broker you guys using? You guys. So that's the question to everybody. I'm in gold sales as well. Should I be getting out? What does your plan say? What does your system tell you? My recommendation was to move stop when you were down here. So this trade should have been done with. But that was my suggestion. I'm waiting on Asia High NQ and trading 400K FTMO. Nice. Wow. The privilege of having FTMO. Good stuff. Shout out to you. 1 to 5 secured. Let's go, Yoslin. Mago, how's your mindset when you miss trades? I'd say there's about a 15 to 30 seconds of frustration for sure. Just like yesterday, I missed out on a 10-hour gold trade that I realized afterwards, and I was like, well, fuck. That would have been nice. And then I just think about all of the missed trades that I've missed, and I remember literally none of them. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, this is just another example of that. It looks like my trading view froze. How are things looking for you guys? Okay, you guys are good then. It's just me. Yes, reload. Okay, give me a sec here, guys. But yeah, in regards to missed trades, I like to just think about like the big picture, and there like I don't actually recollect the ones that I've missed, and it's already happened. Like that, it's already happened, so it serves me absolutely nothing to just live in what could have been. And I'm someone that just prefers to focus on what's in my power. Like that's something that I kind of just bring back to myself pretty frequently is, okay, what's in my power? And I feel like those belief systems and those thought processes are way more effective and profitable than anything else. So, yeah, I like to live in that state of mind. I think it also comes back down to just understanding that the market provides beyond your realm of understanding. Like the market will give you way beyond what you could possibly even fathom to handle. Like there's so many opportunities that if you really try to think about all of the possible trades you could ever take, it's actually slightly hilariously overwhelming. So yeah, just put that back into perspective, which is just like there's so much you could do. So what is one trade? Like you don't even know all of the trades that you also missed. You just happen to realize that one trade that you missed. But then there's like another 50 that were probably there that you just didn't see. Took profits at 2R. Nice. You know, I thought we were going to be good. Started to push down. I'm like, oh, sick. We're in the clear. Now it's coming back up again. And then, hindsight 2020 is like, oh man, I guess that was my shot to take some out, huh? So what I'm starting to notice and what I want to see more of is, are we just low on demand at these levels now? You know, if we zoom out a bit more, I'm gonna just like eliminate yen. Yen is moving so slow. I don't think we really even need a screen for this right now. Yeah, this is looking terrible. So right now we're starting to see some proof that we're losing demand over here. Came back up. Also lost demand over here. Came back down. Very little demand. So it looks like the buyers are in control. And I think when we kind of saw NQ fail to break these highs, that might have been a good sign that, okay, overall, maybe we're still going to continue bullish with indices. Shay said, yo, I'm looking to get into day trading. Where should I start? We have a 100% free from zero course in our community. And then also you can learn how to build out an entire trading system and learn our entry model, exit model, all for free. Here, it's linked at the top. Join the community, and then you'll have access to the sessions, classroom, everything's in there. So yeah, click that, Chase. It's pinned at the top. Nancy dropped a link to the community in there. Euro, check that. Okay, Patrick, I'll check that out in a bit. Yeah, FTMO is the best in my point of view. Yeah, if in the US, if you could use it again, I would, but no can do. 1.25 RR secured. Rodrigo, good stuff. I believe you're getting pretty close to passing another funded, right? Is there a time limit that you have if you get out of a trade if it starts to consolidate? No. I do not have time limit with that. Did you post in the Tradetopia the announcement that we were live? All right, appreciate that. Joining now. Cool. So it's interesting. We're seeing we're losing demand when we get up to 42, 7, 20, 30, like just in the zone. And then we keep coming back down and come back up and come back down. So I haven't really lost faith because of technicals that this trade is necessarily over. Obviously, it doesn't look great. So we'll see. The fact that NQ is squeezing like this, I'm just curious if we're going to see the push down or not. But clinched, loss was accepted. Which loss? Luis, what did you take a different trade? And giving back 100, what is this? 130 points. Damn, that's just embarrassing, honestly. Oh my god. SL? Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let's see what it's going to be. Sick, I froze. Why did you freeze? How do you guys enjoy this frozen screen? Is this what you're here for? Dude, Mike can't be a real trader. His computer freezes. It's a sim. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need a loan, bro. Can you help me? All right, whatever. We got that. Oh, gold came back down. Nice. If anyone stuck to their guns, back in there. I think I'm just short of getting stopped on the Dow trade. I think I'm just shy of it. Couple points here, and it's game over. We can all weep together. Or I get incredibly lucky. Either way, I'm down. Down for the cause. Yo, what's good with you, bro? Just reload. You have one job. Yeah, these are the downsides of doing all of this all at once. I'm really going to get away with this trade, huh? If only you guys could see this in real time. Well, I guess I could show you the Top Step one is going fine. So here, I'll just move this one over. Move to another window. Yes. So while my trading view one figures itself out, yes, reload. You guys can see here. So this one's going. Here's was the yen just losing its brains, and then here was the Dow setup. So here's where I took the exit when I took partials. I took 5 contracts out of 15 off the table, and then here was me having a intellectual conversation with the market gods, and after some negotiation, I was given the ability to stay in this trade. So playing that one out. But, the trade management was the trade management for a reason. The stops are in place because, for specific reasons. So now the question is, was that just a tease? And then it's just going to clear me out anyways? Or is this, or what's going on here, guys? This wasn't part of the deal. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely just lagging crazy. Okay, here we go. I can't tell. Did this one not survive? That would be sad. No way. It did tag me out on this one. All but one contract, apparently. Wait, what is happening here? Yeah, I gotta close this thing here. Interesting. This is strange. Hold on. I think something is strange here. Oh, you know what? Let me see it. Okay, nothing copied over here. Wait, what the fuck? Why? Oh, that's interesting. So my copy trade, you guys remember when I took profit? So when I took profit with the buy order, I accidentally bought Dow across the board. So I've actually been in a buy on accident this whole time. What a fucking noob. All right, hold on. Let me just flatten all this shit. I can't be doing this. This is wilding right now. All right, flatten all this. Dude, copy trading like lessons is interesting. But this was New York Open though. So here was the push to the upside. Now we're seeing we're seeing the drop. And then let's see if Top Step Gods are cool. We're chilling. All right. So selling my soul there was worth it. Okay. Yeah, right now, basically, what you're watching is in real time. Learning it's how, because here's what happened. Since my sell orders didn't copy over, all right, since my sell orders didn't copy over for all of them, then when I had the buy, right, I took you have to buy my own position. If I'm going to sell, I have to buy it to get out of it. So when I did, it copied over that one contract to everything. Okay, here's yen. Yen is looking good. Good job. Good job. Okay. Cool. Yen's moving on. Moving all right. All right, guys. So you accidentally made money. Yeah, that's 100% what happened. On the buy, yeah, most definitely, totally an accident. And it was one contract, so it wasn't a ton, but I mean, shit. I guess every little bit's not bad. Can't be mad about it. Okay. So now, is everything in alignment is what I want to make sure. So this copied over perfectly. Yes. So now if I want to make sure that all my yen goes through, and there needs to be a more robust system for copy trading. Where do I plan on taking this? Whenever this thing hits 1 million, we trade for money here. Who cares about the process? We want the gains with sick gains. But I mean, a trader better than me would say something like, either you're looking to have a fixed risk reward, so you're looking at a 2RR type of exit, or you would be focused on, okay, what do my technical components tell me? So is there something that I should be targeting? Is there liquidity that I can target? Is there imbalance that I can target? Is there an order block that I should be focused on? Any of those things would be something that a logical, profitable trader would tell you. But, I don't know shit. So I'm just going to trade until it makes up for the emptiness inside. But all right, all jokes aside, because I know not a lot of people are going to understand me or know when I'm kidding. But with this specific example, let's zoom out. And if we see, this is actually pretty healthy, like just solid price action over here. So since we're looking at just quality price action and we're trading against quite a bit of the momentum, here, let me zoom out some more. Here's the big picture. Here's where we're at. So right now we've seen a buildup of liquidity over here, and then we have our zone over here. So we're within this like 4-hour range. So we zoom out some more, kind of see, okay, what is really happening here? So we're squeezing on kind of multiple sides. The daily is building up tons of positions over here. And then you see on this side as well. So we're kind of stuck between liquidity on a higher time frame. Now, with this, I can't trade this for too long today. But what I've noticed in the past is we've had, and if we're looking like kind of like, okay, what's the daily range of trading the yen? And here's the London session low. So, okay, could we target London session lows? Sure. We have Asian session lows over here, which would take a bit more, and there's an imbalance. But I think if you want to go for a conservative exit, I would be looking at an exit in here. So here we see a nice sweep. We'll make some nice lows here, and then we see the continuation. So conservative, nice and friendly exit would be right there. Something like this could be a nice exit. Take your money, call it a day. So I'll set mine here. Considering this is going to be an intraday trade, I'd place my sell stop, my buy limit, right there to negate the contract. Okay, and then cool. So ended up getting stopped out there. So if I were to rate my exit management today with Dow, I would say, was I greedy? No. But did I have opportunity to get out a little earlier and just have a high probability exit? Yes, absolutely. So for example, and I communicated, and you guys saw me take partials off. The difference, all I wanted basically, and this is just for perspective for everybody, my exit was going for the liquidity, and that was 20 points. All that would have been was 20 points. So, okay, 20 points at 5 contracts. So we're looking at $50. Now, $50 across, like 20 accounts. Okay, sure, that's $1,000. But $1,000 ended up costing me instead, because I did take one off the table. So it wasn't even 50, right? It would have been like 40. But instead gave back about 120. So yeah, 6 times that. So then here's what I should have done. When we got the pullback into here, and we got this set up right there, when the market did this was my chance, because the market basically closed this position. It closed the New York Open. So we saw it push back down. Right here, I could have taken back much more. That would have given me, I think it was like another 35 points. So that is what that would have been a better way to manage the trade. Also, the market coming into the imbalance, was what I wanted as an exit. Targeting liquidity, considering that NASDAQ wasn't really doing much, I should have adapted to seeing that. So I'll give myself like a 5 out of 10 in terms of trade management for this one. Okay, so what are we identifying now? If we're looking at NASDAQ, should we be looking at selling opportunities or anything like that? Like, is that still an option? Right now, I'm not totally seeing tons of opportunities for this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I think we're about to see the clearance of Asian session highs, which is cool. There we go. Just blasted through there. So we just took out the Asian session highs. And zooming out will also give us perspective on what happened yesterday. So we just cleared Asian session highs. What does that show us with Dow? Okay, Dow now takes us to a place where we already traded and mitigated in here. So these orders, money was already exchanged here. There's no reason to do anything else. With this specifically. This was also like London session move. This mitigated the Asian session high. Okay. Market's relatively rebalanced over here. I don't, right now, unless we get new information, I don't really see a need to short until we were to get way up here. So Dow has to climb up quite a bit in order to get to a sell that's actively, like right now, showing us a possibility. So unless we get up to here, which, I mean, is possible, way up here, if Dow remains divergent, so if it's like this one that's kind of more slowly working its way up, then way up here we can look for a short. And Q here gives a similar example around here. So, and this is why and for me at least, it's important to look at things this way. Let's see, move this back. We see this move. So this was at 12 o'clock yesterday. See the market pump up here, work its way up. So that, there's possibilities for a short over here. But what is that? How does this relate to Dow? Is that 12? What was Dow doing at that time? At that time, Dow was also making the highs here, right? That was this same push. So right now, it looks like if sells are something that we're looking at, it is looking like Dow would be the best case. So I'm going to stay just waiting. I'll have an alert set if we get here with NQ, but I wouldn't be taking this first. NQ looks to be like a very well-positioned bull for the day right now. And I think we can see, one, not just getting above Asian session highs, but we basically have liquidity up here for some of this New York session. So, I mean, we may, if we push up into here and clear some of this, get into this imbalance, keep an eye on what Dow is looking like. Like if Dow starts giving signs that it wants to distribute, then yeah, maybe you go ahead and take a position there. Right now, we just cleared the New York open price action, came back into this range here. So I think it'd be forcing something if you're going to look to short indices at the moment. I'm not like in love with any trade. Yeah, we clearing New York open highs and NASDAQ cleared Asian session highs, but this can maybe kind of look like a shakeout setup, like it just clears the highs here. It's kind of doing like a little break and retest. Could the market want to short from here again? I don't really love it. I think I'd rather get just better setups. Because one of the things that you want to just be mindful of is like, am I looking to make up for something? So like, okay, taking a trade this quickly again after either you get stop profited, stopped out, whatever, it's like you can be really vulnerable to rationalizing entries because you want to make up for something. So at the moment, I'm going to just stay chill here. And to, let's see, think about like, all right, well, could we see buy positions anywhere? Also, not really seeing it. We got the NASDAQ, even though it didn't give really any higher highs, it just, once it came back to here, and it basically mitigated the little dip right there. That was at 837. Look at what this looks like on Dow. 837. It was basically the low. So once NASDAQ did that little mitigation, this was instead of taking partials, could have taken the full thing, but it's all good. Gold traders, looks like this last move up, and I had mentioned, right, like this hadn't fully mitigated, but I just wasn't really working with gold at the time, so I wasn't really looking to do anything. This has now dropped even more, so for this to fully, I think, have gotten that exchange from buyers to sellers, you're looking at this pushing down, I think, another like 70, 80 pips or so. And then to follow up with the yen trade, for those of you that took this with me during the Zoom that we had here in our community for PPI. So follow up here, still moving nicely, working its way through. Got some kind of like intraday liquidity here going as well. I can imagine we're going to break through this at some point here. So I'm going to just kind of give this thing some time to keep making its way down. And let's see here. I know some of you said you had dropped some charts. So let's see. Did less, made more, but I'm conflicted. Interesting. All right, I'll go through this. I'll read some of these here in a bit. There we go. Oh, I should have pinned this one. All right, where did you guys drop your charts? Maybe it was in here. Nope. Gold on TP, good stuff. Isaiah. All right, here Nancy's got an oil trade. Let's see. What's up? It already played out. Oh, it was a good sweep. Mitigation. Nice. Good, solid trade. CL. I think we're seeing, right, futures was about to switch over contracts soon for oil, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Maybe it just did. Is this it? I think this just missed my zone that I was looking at. Oh, yeah. I think it just missed what I had drawn up here. Either way, nice. All right, what else we got? Okay, It's a stream. I don't really see it. Oh, here's the Euro USD. This is the one. Scrolled back a bit and found this. What do you think? Let's see, Patrick. Sell, stop loss. Is this for a new setup? So this goes back to November something, some year. Let's see. Let's look at Euro. Okay. Did I not just click this? So where are you at here? How far back did you go? Or is that just an example of something? Looks like you're 2021. Is this what you're looking at? October of, I think this is what you're looking at here. So let's go all the way back to somewhere over here, it looks like. This is when you're in the trenches, man. Patrick here was in the trenches with this one. Yep, there it is. Have liquidity sweep here. All right, so let's have this building up. So a giant move to the upside right there. Huge move, stalls out. You get another push here. So it looks like Thursday, kind of like a New York open, volatility here. Market gets to this zone. Some of y'all really be looking for these setups. All right, let's bring this to the present. I think we're getting relatively close to this. I think this is what you're talking about. We did. We just tagged in there. Look at that. Sweet. Well done. What would have probably kept me out of this is just kind of seeing the movement. Like, we're seeing how aggressively bullish Euro is moving here. So when I have something like this, usually what I'll do, which is why I'm currently in a short on why I'm shorting yen futures instead of Euro, is because of the momentum and the price action. So, for example, we would have been right with odd USD, right? Shorting this one up here, cool. We would have been right on that. We saw NZD USD clear liquidity and then, make its drop as well. So Australian, NZD, those were all, in my opinion, more likely to drop and stay within the range because of how price action was already moving. It was just slower on the bullish side of things. And then as we were looking at, for example, USD CAD was still super bearish relative to previous price action at the same time. USD CHF as well. And then, but USD JPY was making higher lows. So this had just good price action in its favor anyways. So, I mean, I think we're just seeing the yen really well here lately with the short, with the long, etc. Anyone still holding this trade? I know it's not it's not indices and it's just instant gratification, but it is moving along pretty nicely. What I'm going to do now, considering the way that we've seen this drop, I am going to give myself the luxury of eliminating risk from this idea. So I'm going to let this thing go through. We're starting to see it kind of clear these zones. It's now trading closer to, it's right now filled the PPI movement. So we've gotten that. So conservatively, if you wanted to take profits, because it has now, I guess, hit the check mark on, okay, PPI fulfilled, done. If you want to see this, let's say, work its way back to be closer to the London session lows, here's where we poked below, when it went this way, then great. I only have one contract on this, so I can't take partials on this one. So I guess I have to make a decision now. Do I learn my lesson from PPI regarding indices? Or do I go for a little extra here to look for these London session lows? What's it going to be? Right now, because one thing I do think is important for you guys to understand with certain accounts that you trade, we do want to be aware of the rules and things, right? So Apex, it takes your, not what you end of day close for your trailing drawdown, but it takes the equity. So if you float up a ton of profit and then give it all back, it's going to just take the peak of that anyways. So just some things for you guys to consider as you're looking to trade and to improve your ability to take money from the market. So as I was yapping here, I could have been taking profit. So at the moment, we kind of saw the clearance into this level. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move my stop to here, so that in this example as well, worst case, I can still collect some and make up for what we saw with indices. One thing I also can look at, and as we look at other assets, you can always take a look at whether it's DXY or really any pair, and see, is there like motive for price to keep going up or down? So with euro, like, okay, does it seem like euro can drop and rebalance something in here? It kind of looks like it. Does it seem like NZD can push further down? Because if these will sweep liquidity here and push further down, then we'll probably see the yen do something similar. So that's just some things to consider as you're looking at the market. Now, before I wrap up right now, I'm going to do one more round to take a look at how indices are playing out, because I do see something interesting with Dow, and it's the amount of liquidity that it's building up here. So look at this. Right now, there is a lot of trendline liquidity. A lot. So the question becomes, is there motive for a short at any point in time? Dow has cleared up to just shy of clearing the Asian session high. So I want to see if we get above here, and then if we do get above here, if then we get, okay, now we just did, right? So we got above there, and then actually, excuse me, this is the Asian session high over here. But now we're getting into the zone. Do we now get a shakeout setup at some point in time? So if we do clear Asian session highs, I want to see if we can get a shakeout setup, and then maybe we can catch some of this move. What else is also very evident is the sell-off. So for example, I'm not sure when and how we're going to work our way back down, but the fact that we see a massive selling position here is very obvious. Right there. And I'm sure many of you have already marked this up. It's a huge sell-off, rebalances all this, off it goes. So at some point, we can work our way back here. And if when we work our way back down, it's less aggressive than NASDAQ, we'll kind of just align the two. We'll see if it makes sense. Otherwise, maybe we're going to see a buy position in some other way. But if you guys are noticing, like NASDAQ is kind of chilling now. NASDAQ has not been anywhere near as bullish as Dow has been. So Dow was like, okay, let me do this. Now let me cook. And it's just been on an absolute rampage. So we'll kind of see. We'll see how both of them are operating. Dow right now is like really hunting for the right there. This is the Asian session high. So this would then clear out a final round of liquidity playing into this zone. I can entertain possible shakeout shorts, whether it's going to be with Dow or with NASDAQ. So we'll be pending. Considering how consolidated NASDAQ has been here recently versus Dow, it might end up being NASDAQ's turn to get back to that PPI price action. So we'll just stay alert. And that is all. Cool. Well, guys, I wish you the best. Keep managing the yen setup. If you want to take your profits and have a great day, then do that. If you want to just kind of let it run and do its thing, then also do what makes sense. So just do what literally you're supposed to be doing. That's the only thing I have left for you guys today. I don't actually got by S&P. Nice. I'm still in SJ. Perfect. New setup around October 27. Fantastic. All right, guys. Make sure you join the community. If you want to have a system that is extremely thorough, if you want to go through an internal, external, and financial evolution, transformation within you, and you are very serious, very committed, and are willing to make the right investment, then consider the syndicate. It is a very small group of high performers fully focused on making this a full-time thing. This is not a participation thing. This is not a, just kind of for anyone that's kind of interested. Like I kind of maybe trading's for me. This is like, I want to make trading the thing. So if that is you, then schedule an onboarding call so you can join the syndicate. I just pinned it in the chat. Again, this is for the committed. This is for people that really want to basically put their trading on steroids and to become that trader. So click that link. If that's not you, then keep showing up until it is. Remember, guys, we are building our freedom here, one trade at a time, one discipline at a time. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.